last week I was very busy with some project, and I thought it would be fun to show you a couple of pictures of the project. The project was about controlling around 10,000 LEDs at the same time and have them current controlled and everything. So I designed a couple of boards for it, and yeah, let's take a look at some pictures and the end result of the art piece. There we go. Then the main topic of this week is actually about this monitor that I have here, this screen, that is failing me. And as most people know, maybe electricians know, that when devices fail after 5 years or more, the first suspect that you might have is capacitors, because capacitors, they tend to get old very fast. And capacitors, I'm talking about these things. This is quite a big one, but you know, these capacitors. I'm not talking about the ceramic ones or tantalum, just the electrolytic capacitors. They tend to fail, and let me show you what can happen to the screen, you know, when the capacitor fails. So this is what I have now on my screen. Look at the backlight; it's going berserk. I thought, you know, maybe I'll just replace the capacitors and save myself like 200 bucks on replacing the complete screen. Just replace the capacitors. So I thought, you know, let's do it. Let's take it apart. So I unplugged the screen, put it on a soft cloth to protect the screen while I take it apart. It's a Samsung. Well, yeah, sorry about that, Samsung, to put you in the picture like this with bad caps, but yeah, that's just the way it is. Put in better caps, right? I must say it's a beautiful screen. It works really nice. Well, not anymore, but it gives a beautiful picture when it runs. And it's about 7 or 8 years old, so you know, yeah, it's not too bad. But the weakest link in these screens is obviously the capacitors, and they put in really cheap ones. I will come back on that topic later, on how to pick your capacitors and how to calculate lifetime and stuff like that. So let's take it apart. So here it's saying, to prevent electric shock, do not remove the cover, no use serviceable parts inside. Let's see if a user can fix it and have serviceable parts. Deh. Okay, after a fight of about 5 minutes, I have managed to get this piece off. I don't see anything broken or snapped off, but it sounded horrible. Well, anyway, let's take a look inside. So here's the main power supply board, and the first thing that you will see is that these capacitors here are like really dirty on top. There's some stuff coming out, and the shape is being bent. So these two are suspects, and this one here doesn't look too healthy as well. So I will be replacing those 3 capacitors and see if that solves the problem. Okay, I replaced the capacitors. Since I didn't have the right value, I had to combine several capacitors, so I put like 3 in parallel with each other to match the value of the originals. I'm not exactly matching up. I'm a little bit short on farads, but I think these are really high quality caps, and the ones that I took out were really low quality and old, so I think it should be enough. It looks a little bit Frankenstein, but I'm pretty confident everything is secure and has the right amount of space. Nothing is sticking out. I'm not getting close to any other contacts, and everything's aligning up very good. So here another Frankenstein construction, but I think it will work. So let's put it back together and see if the thing explodes or if it works. Yeah. A little bit of optical damage here, but yeah, that will probably avoid warranty, but I don't have warranty anymore anyway, so who cares. Yeah, let's close it up. It's November 2007, so yeah, that's like 7 years ago. But 7 years is pretty tight for like a high-end monitor, I think. Well, is it high-end? I don't know. Well, that seems right to me. Yep. Nothing strange going on. I can see here that it says no signal. Well, that's good. But it's not flickering anymore, so I have good faith that the problem is solved. Let's hook it up to the computer. Okay, so here we are. I connected it to the computer. Let's see if it fires up. And bam! So instead of replacing a monitor and spend like 200 euros, yeah, I just threw in like some caps. Okay, since you've been watching the complete video, there's a little bit of a present for you. So below this video there's a link and you can download your freeware application. So here's the little app that I made for you guys. It's very small. You don't need to install it, just run it, that's it. Here you can enter the numbers that you got from your capacitor datasheet. If your capacitor doesn't have a datasheet, then I recommend you don't use the capacitor at all. So let's say I have a cheap capacitor and it has 2000 hours of lifetime and it's rated at 85 degrees Celsius, but I live in Holland, so the temperature would be 20, but maybe inside a unit 25 degrees, and maybe the capacitor rises a couple of degrees because I'm using it. So let's ask the magical sphere what the lifetime expectancy is. So you just hit this button here and boom, it says 3 years. So you can use that kind of capacitor for 3 years in these conditions. But let's say I'm living in Spain and it's more warm, it's 30 degrees, you know, so yeah, then it goes to 2 years. So the capacitors that I'm using has these specs. And like 5000 hours at 105 degrees, because I'm using only good gaps and not the bad ones, and then it has a life expectancy of 9 years plus. So that's really amazing, that's really good. And in colder countries even more, you know, it will go 10 years straight. So these are the caps that I put in now, so I should be fine for the coming, you know, 9 to 10 years. So